China's space dominance plan. By 2045, a Chinese taikonaut plants the red flag on Mars. A nuclear-powered lunar city hums with activity. In Earth's orbit, AI-controlled satellites form an impenetrable shield. This is not science fiction. This is China's official roadmap. While NASA struggles with budget cuts, while SpaceX focuses on commercial launches, China is executing a secret master plan to control space itself. Today on KM Celestial Journey, we reveal never-before-seen details of China's military space stations, shocking leaks about their quantum space communications, the terrifying truth behind their orbital nuclear weapons program. This is the most important space documentary you'll watch this decade, and it all starts right now. Chapter 1: The Silent Space Revolution, 2003-2024. 1.1 The Decade of Catching Up, 2003 to 2013. 2003 was China's first small step, sending Yan Liwei into orbit for just 21 hours. Western analysts smirked. They're decades behind, they said. But behind the scenes, 2007 conducted first anti-satellite missile test, shocking the world. 2011 launched Tiangong-1 prototype station. 2013 landed Chang'e 3 on Moon, first soft landing since 1976. The pattern? Every 5 years, China mastered what took others decades. And then came the acceleration. 1.2 The Great Leap. Space Ward, 2014 to 2024. 2016 Quantum Satellite launched. Unhackable communications. 2018 Record 39 space launches, surpassing US for first time. 2020 Change 5 moon samples returned. 2021 Tianwen-1 Mars success. 2022 Tiangong Station completed. 2023 Reusable spacecraft tested, stayed in orbit 276 days. Most frightening? Their failure rate is just 4% compared to Chapter 2 The Tiangong Empire, 2025 to 2035. China's orbital supremacy, revealing the Tiangong space station against the backdrop of the rising sun. 2.1 The Death of the ISS and China's orbital monopoly. The ISS's inevitable end. The International Space Station (ISS), once the crown jewel of global cooperation, is dying. 2025 Critical modules reach 30+ years old. Metal fatigue, air leaks, and system failures increase. 2028 NASA begins controlled deorbit plans. 2030 the ISS plunges into the Pacific in a fiery finale. And when it's gone, there's only one space station left. Tiangong's expansion, the only game in orbit, cold calculating. While NASA struggles to fund its lunar gateway and commercial LEO destinations, China is expanding aggressively. By 2025, Tiangong grows from 3 to 6 modules, including Wenqian Lab Module, Advanced Biotech and Material Science, Mengqian Experiment Module, Classified Military Research, Xinqian Space Telescope, Hubble's replacement but controlled by Beijing. By 2030, Tiangong becomes a megastructure, larger than Mir, more advanced than the ISS ever was. And here's the kicker. NASA's Artemis-era stations won't be fully operational until 2035 at the earliest. That means 5 years where China is the only landlord in space. 2.2 The military shadow behind Tiangong. Dual-use technology. Science or warfare? Officially, Tiangong is a peaceful research station. But leaked Pentagon reports reveal alarming truths. Laser communications array can transmit data or blind enemy satellites. Robotic arms for repairing satellites or grappling them out of orbit. Quantum encryption tests, unhackable communications for military command networks. The most disturbing module? The Mengqian Lab, officially for microgravity experiments. But defense analysts suspect hypersonic missile guidance testing, AI-driven space warfare simulations, stealth coding experiments for spy satellites. The taikonaut soldiers, China's space force in disguise. China's astronauts aren't just scientists, many are PLA Air Force pilots with classified training. 2026, first civilian taikonaut mission includes a materials scientist who also happens to be an aerospace warfare specialist. 2029, Tiangong hosts emergency response drills, simulating space station defense scenarios. 2032, leaked documents reveal a secret Space Marine detachment training for orbital boarding operations. The message is clear. Tiangong isn't just a lab, it's a forward operating base. 2.3 The new space colonialism. Who gets to board Tiangong? The cooperation trap. China says Tiangong is open to all nations. But there's a catch. To send astronauts, you must sign the China-led Space Cooperation Agreement, which gives Beijing veto power over research. Share all experimental data with Chinese authorities. Avoid any collaboration with the US Space Force. Countries that signed already: Pakistan, UAE, Venezuela, Belarus. Countries that refused: India, developing own station. Japan, joining Lunar Gateway instead. The future of space research? Dictated by Beijing. 2.4 The Endgame. Tiangong as a military command hub. 2035, the ultimate space control center. By 2035, Tiangong won't just be a station. It will be a fortress. Orbital surveillance network. Hundreds of mini-satellites deployed from Tiangong, monitoring every movement in Earth orbit. Space traffic control. China could dictate which satellites are allowed in certain orbits. Anti-satellite hub. If war comes, Tiangong becomes ground zero for disabling enemy space assets. The US knows this. That's why Space Force is rushing nuclear-powered combat space stations. But will it be too late? Chapter 3. Lunar Conquest 2030-2040. 3.1. The nuclear moon base. China's Chang'e 8 2028 will deploy 3D-printed habitat prototypes, experimental thorium reactors, fully autonomous rover teams. By 2035, the International Lunar Research Station (ILRS) will feature underground lava tube habitats, radiation-shielded, mass driver launch system, slingshotting cargo to orbit, 500-kilowatt nuclear reactor, classified as civilian. Meanwhile, NASA? Artemis Base Camp won't be operational until late 2030s with just 1/10 the power. 3.2. The Helium-3 Gold Rush. Excited? Lunar soil contains helium-3, the holy grail for fusion reactors. 1 ton equals energy for 10,000 homes a year. Estimated value, $3 billion per ton. China's patents show autonomous mining drones, electrostatic separation tech, orbital refueling depots. Chapter 4. The Mars Gambit, 2033-2045. 4.1. The Tianwen-3 sample return, 2030. While NASA's Mars sample return struggles with delays, China's Tianwen-3 will land 2 separate rockets, lander plus ascent vehicle, collect 500-gram plus samples, return by 2031, beating NASA by 2+ years. Why does this matter? Because whoever controls Mars samples controls Martian science. 4.2. The 2049 Mars. China's Century Space Plan reveals nuclear thermal rockets, Beijing Institute Tech, prefab habitat launches 2038-2042, first crewed mission 2040. Endgame? A self-sustaining colony by 2049, the 100th anniversary of Communist China. Chapter 5. Space Warfare and Dominance. 5.1. The Satellite Killer Fleet. China's SJ-21 satellite was caught, grappling another satellite, moving it to graveyard orbit, then returning to hunting position. They now have cleaner satellites, remove enemy sats discreetly, nanny satellites, protect Chinese assets, suicide microsats, kinetic kill vehicles. 5.2. The Quantum Space Internet. In 2026, China will deploy Quest 2 satellite network, quantum key distribution, unhackable, covering entire Earth-Moon system. Military advantage? Even if you destroy their satellites, the network self-heals. The Space Race 2.0 isn't about flags, it's about who builds the future. China plays chess while others play checkers. Their moves are calculated, relentless. Decades ahead. Will the West wake up in time? Or will the 22nd century speak Mandarin? Comment below. Like if you learned something terrifying. Subscribe for more uncensored space truth.